Good morning, evening, and afternoon, and welcome to part 6 of 9, episode 1, Koko no tsu koko no ka koko no iro. After the weekend, kind of fuzzy about the minor details, but last part we were able to see a couple of events that I was not quite expecting. As mentioned before, I was going into this thinking it was more slice of life, like a generic type of genres, but I'm not expected to be more science fiction than well, I don't know if it was science fiction, sci-fi, or whatever. Oh, same thing. Anyway, I was pretty surprised to see superpowers, paranormal abilities. I don't know what you would really call it, but people have power that at the moment looks like controls elements. I can't remember what Kujo did with hers. All I know is one person was controlling fire, which went out of control. Or perhaps it wasn't him, but something else was influencing him with fire. We don't know the detail yet. Which made me think that perhaps it was something similar to the girl in the park that we found who had been turned to stone. So Kujo calls them users, which makes me believe it was they themselves have that ability. So there's just a lot of questions right now. Also, that plushie was here and it had helped us. Gave us instructions on what we need to do to help the situation progress. A lot of questions. Let's just hope it gets answered in this part. For now, let's see if she'll say something about it. Kujo collects both the blazer and the cell phone I dropped earlier and hands them to me. I give her my thanks and take them. After what we went through, I have no choice but to admit it. He was using some superpower that let him control flames. I was gonna say, was everything right? 'Cause I heard nothing. The fire engine's finally getting here, huh? We should get away from... Yeah, she must have been pretty scared. Yeah. Did she seriously just slam herself into me or hit me or... I take a powerful shot to the gut. So it glomps onto me, wrapping both arms around my waist. I look up to see all the trapped students starting to evacuate. Several of them are shaken up and crying, while others are silent, surveying the area with mouths agape in confusion. To them, the fire just vanished off its own accord. Everything's okay now. I set my hand on Sora's head and stroke her hair. Kujo watches us with a smile. This is kind of embarrassing. I still have no idea what just happened, nor do I know why you're thanking me. You better explain it all to me later. Her tone is a tad stiff. Kujo pulls her gaze away from us and turns around. I follow her stare as I try to calm Sora down. She's watching the evacuating students. The teachers are barking instructions. You know, they've got some nerve. considering they stood there as slack-jawed as everyone else. I absent-mindedly chastised them to myself. A short time afterwards, every student in the school is ordered to assemble in the gymnasium to await further instructions. They make us wait about 3 minutes. The principal comes out and, without attempting to explain the earlier incident, briefly announces that everyone is free to go home for the day, effectively dismissing us. Since I'm worried about Sora, I decide to walk her back to my folks' place. Or so I planned, at least. However, given Kujo and I had been witnessed plunging into the heart of conflagration, there was no way they were going to just let us leave without asking us a few questions first. I entrust Sora to a friend of hers who apparently lives nearby, and Kujo and I offer our explanation to the firefighters. We limit ourselves to only telling them about the unusual nature of the fire. Normally they would never buy our story, but with the additional evidence of videos provided by some of the onlookers, they were forced to accept it. It burned unnaturally, and it went out just as unnaturally, and the videos prove it. Things don't go as smoothly at our next questioning. We get a very welcome talking to from the head teacher of our grade. I can't believe how reckless that was. You two could have died in there. I get annoyed at their pointless lecture, which he of course notices, so he naturally starts chewing me out even worse. After he finally winds down his sermon and lets us go, Miss Nadase comes out with us and says,
あんな風に怒ることないのにね。おろおろしてただけのくせに、あのハゲ。
Yep. That cheers me up a little. Man, we're finally out of there.
終わった後の方が大変だったかも。
We trudged through the front gates. The fire engines seem to have left. Those firefighters must have been awfully confused. They rushed to the scene only to find no trace of fire, and on top of that, the students gave them a story that made no sense. Well, whatever. Their problem, not mine. At any rate, we made it.
お疲れ様。今日はもう休むよね。
Yeah, I'm beat. Though, I've got to get some grub first. I'm so hungry I might drop dead.
じゃあ、一緒に食べない？約束したから。
The talk, right? It can wait until tomorrow. You must be tired yourself, Kujo.
大丈夫。
Oh, okay. Want to go to Nambo?
今の時間は多分混んでると思う。ランチタイムは主婦の人たちでいっぱいで。
She would understand when peak hours are. Guess we should find somewhere else then. Oh, you brought a lunch for yourself, Kujo?
ええ。でも、そうね。できれば人のいないところで話したいかも。
We can probably manage that. I mean, when I'm thinking of where we could sit down and eat without being bothered, my place is the only thing I can think of.
お邪魔しても大丈夫？
Huh? You'd be okay with that?
ご迷惑じゃなければ。
No, of course not. I just didn't think... but sure, let's do that.
荷物カゴに入れてね。
Thanks. I slip my bag in Kujo's bark basket and we head off. I can't believe I'm bringing Kujo to my apartment. This is the first time I'm having having over a girl, other than Sora. I'm freaking out here. Sorry for the weird pause. I was just a bit confused by this line here. For some, I'll be having over a girl. Wouldn't I'll be having a girl over? Perhaps. Oh. I wonder if they're both nervous. Between our exhaustion and the obvious tension, our conversations grind to a halt. Steering the awkwardness, we head toward my apartment. We pop into the convenience store on the way, so I can buy myself a lunchbox, and then at last, we reach my apartment. Don't overthink this, I'm just grabbing a midday bite with Kujo. I'm alone with the girl in my apartment. I can't let her find out how excited I am over this.
お店に来ないときはいつもコンビニで?
Pretty much. Or a prepared meal from the supermarkets. Or something like that.
そうなんだ.
Kujo, did you make your own lunch?
ええ。たまにお母さんに作ってもらうこともあるけれど、できる限り自分で.
That's amazing. I could never manage that.
よかったらこれ食べて.
Are you sure?
コンビニのお弁当だけじゃバランス悪いもの。嫌いじゃなかったらどうぞ。
Okay, so she says please don't be shy in English, but in Japanese it's more like kirai janakattara dozo, which is more like if it doesn't displease you or if you don't dislike it, then yeah. So it's more like she's asking if you don't hate this food or if you don't like this food, yeah, have a try. Thanks. Then don't mind if I do. She passes me a bit of her braised spinach. I take a bite. Wow, this is great.
よかった.
We're all alone, sitting across from each other. Here I am, eating food prepared by a girl. I'm getting pretty worked up, seeing one of my most cherished dreams from when I first started living alone finally coming to fruition. But this is no time to get lost in my thoughts. So, can you tell me what the heck happened back there? Kujo's chopsticks freeze. A madman wreathed in flame. Kujo, a blue symbol flashing on her left hand, so similar to the one on the man's cheek. Unexplained superpowers. I need to know what's going on. This is no time to get all love-struck and dopey.
説明する前に、まず体験してもらった方がいいかもしれない。
Huh? I've experienced enough. I'll believe whatever you tell me.
ええ。でも理解もしてもらおうと思って、私のことを。
She sets down her chopsticks, pulls out her phone, and begins fiddling with it. Her phone? She props it up on my bookcase, pointing the camera in my direction. Can it not be recorded? So, I mean, they were being recorded in the school, so nobody said anything about it.
動画撮るね。
Oh, sure, no problem.
新見くんの持ち物何か借りていい？
Like anything?
ええ。できれば愛着のあるものを。
Oh, right, I remember now what she did with her ability. She grabbed the necklace, the jewelry that was part of the boy with the flames. So is she able to retrieve something of importance from an individual. A bit of an unusual ability, I guess you could say. Or I guess if it's something to do with what happened at the school, quite a powerful one for that, because you can stop them from going out of control if you know which jewelry they have. How about this? Glancing around, I spot my cell phone out on the table beside me. I pick it up and hand it to her.
ありがとう。くだらない質問だけど、ごめんなさい。付き合ってね。
Okay.
これは新見くんのスマートフォンで、私の持ち物じゃない。そうよね。
Yes, that's right.
黒いカバーがつけてある。
Yep, came with it when I bought it.
気に入ってる？
Of course, it's an older model, but I got it as a present for making it into the academy, so I'm pretty attached to it.
ありがとう。はい。返すね。
Huh? I take my phone, dumbfounded. I'm clueless as to what she's trying to do here, but I play along while taking another bite of spinach.
じゃあ、ようやく本題。
She raises her left hand. The magic hand. Back at school, I thought I had a firm grip on that guy's jewelry, but somehow it ended up in Kujo's hand.
私の手、よく見ていて。
Gotcha. When she inhales and holds her breath, the emblem reappears on her hand, producing a faint glow. I blink for less than a second. When my eyes open, I notice that Kujo is now holding a smartphone with a black cover in her hand. Wow, yeah, it was just like that. You teleported it to your hand.
これ、誰のスマートフォンかわかる？
It's yours, of course. Why does he think that? I mean, he just said about the necklace, and we talked about the whole black cover, talking about the same phone. You'd instantly think about your own phone. That's an understanding of it. Understanding. I can't think of the right word for this, but he's unable to comprehend it, I guess. I don't know.
私のはあっちに。
Oh, I see. Huh? You carry two? Really?
ううん。一つしか持ってない。
Whose is it then? And where did you teleport it from?
この部屋にあった。
Oh, really? Did Sora leave hers behind? No, hers is a different model. I'm speechless.
見覚えはない？
Not at all. Wow.
わかった。ありがとう。はい。
Wait, what? Wait, maybe I'm misunderstanding this. Maybe... Huh. Okay. I'm having an idea now here what happened. So whatever she did may perhaps change his memory about that certain object. 'Cause then if that is the case, that makes more sense. Hmm?
返すね。
Okay. She hands the phone to me.
そのスマートフォン、誰のかわかる？
And I'm guessing as soon as the owner is returned that object, or they are able to touch that object again, the memories of that object return. Huh? Well, it's mine. Yeah.
さっきまで知らないって言ってた。
Huh? No way. This is mine, obviously. I wouldn't say something silly like that. Okay, that It's an unusual way of using ability like this in the story. It's unusual, which is interesting. Huh.
そう。ありがとう。実験終わり。
Huh? What? As I tilt my head in utter confusion, Kujo goes to retrieve her phone from the bookshelf.
見て。
She fusses with the phone for a minute, then shows me the screen. I watch the video on it. Kujo asks her a question. I answered it in turn. Kujo lifts her left hand. Her hand shines, and my phone teleports to her hand. And then... Huh? The me in the recording offers up an insane answer to her question. I'm saying I don't recognize my own phone? What's more, I don't remember saying any of that. But it's got an interesting restriction, or not restriction, but requirements, where it has to be an item of... Wait, maybe it doesn't have to, but maybe it was just easier to demonstrate if it was of significance to the owner. But if it's not just for demonstration, then it's quite a large requirement that it has to be an object that the person is connected to.
そう。それが私の力。
Kujo speaks, watching timidly for my reaction.
他人の持ち物の所有権を奪い、その持ち物に関する記憶まで消してしまう。
Interesting. Wait, then that might happen. What happened to the hair clip as well? Perhaps she unconsciously stole possession of it, and because of that, nobody knows they had owned that paperclip, so she can't find the owner of that. But it doesn't explain why it keeps returning back to her, but leave that for now. Interesting.
この能力によって奪った物品は問答無用で私のものになるの。
Wow. That power can easily be used for evil intentions, I should say.
元の持ち主は奪われたことに気がつかないし、私が所有権を放棄しない限り、初めから持っていなかったものとして振る舞う。
Wow.
所有権を放棄した後も奪われたことに気がつかない。持ち物に関する記憶が戻る代わりに、私が奪っていた間の記憶が抜け落ちるから。
At first I thought it was something just a little bit minor-ish, but this is massive actually.
他人の大事なものを自分の所有物にしてしまう。盗人の力。
You're saying this is what you used back there?
ええ。発動条件は対象の10メートル以内に近づくこと。そして対象物が私の視界に入っていること。アーティファクトに通用するかどうかは賭けだったけど。
Oh, what's an artifact? This is what she said, right? Come to think of it, she also used that word back then. Back when we were checking out the statue.
輪廻転生のメビウスリング。知ってるとは思うけど、見たことはある？
Huh? A bit, I guess. Apparently we're talking about anime now? Nevertheless, I refrain from voicing my confusion and let her continue. It's probably pertinent information.
作中にね、アーティファクトってアイテムが登場するの。すごく似ていたから。
So she named it herself. Wait, you don't mean...
そう。
so I thought. She pulls out something from her uniform pocket and lays it on the table. The cursed hair clip.
登場人物たちは特殊な力を持っているの。その力はそれぞれ所有している専用のアーティファクトから引き出したもの。そしてこの髪飾りが私にこの力を与えた。他人から物を奪い、記憶を都合よく改ざんしてしまう超常的な能力を。
Did she somehow influence her own memories if she was saying something about the hair clip? Or was she testing people about the hair clip? Then she asked Miss Naruse about exercising it. Performing exorcism on it. Then you mean...
ええ。人を石化したのも、今日のことも、アーティファクトの所持者。アニメ風に言うなら、アーティファクトユーザーによって引き起こされた事件。
And suddenly, it all clicks. With that neat summary, all of these unrelated jumps in the conversation come together to form an explanation. But while the logic all fits together, I'm not emotionally ready to accept it, and I find myself at a loss for words. I mean, it's crazy. The stuff in that dumb anime is real, and yet I've experienced it firsthand. I saw that impossible fire and that stone girl with my own 2 eyes. The only option left is to accept Kujo's explanation. But my common sense isn't making it easy for me. As I sit there, furrowing my brow and frowning, unable to come to terms with the sudden turn of events, Kujo grins at me and continues.
そうよね。私も最初はそうだった。この髪飾りに触れた瞬間、使い方が分かったの。力の。
Okay. Hmm.
でも、あまりにも現実離れしていて、信じていなかった。疲れてるのかなって思った。
Okay, so she had realized that there was something weird about it, and she was just doubting the whole thing in her mind. So she was just trying to think of other possibilities of why that is. So she kept looking for an owner of it, since she doesn't think it was hers, and she wanted to be exorcised because she was worried that it might have something to do with something supernatural-ish.
けど、好奇心もあって、お店で新見くんに話した後、家に帰って試してみたの。本物だった。お父さんの大事にしている時計が私のものになって、お父さんがいい時計だな、俺もそういうの欲しいって言ったの。
Wow.
その後何度か実験して確信した。この髪飾りはアニメと同じだって。アーティファクトと呼ぶべきものだって。実は悩んでいたのは心霊現象のせいじゃなかったの。心配してくれていたのに嘘をついてごめんなさい。
So what you were really worried about was that you had suddenly obtained a superpower?
それもあるけれど、アニメのアーティファクトは所有者を選ぶの。
You sure know a lot about it.
一応全部見たから。
She shrugs her shoulders with a sheepish grin. Well, that confirms what I suspected about the quality of the anime, but that's neither here nor there.
多分この髪飾りもそうなんだと思う。私は選ばれた。
What I would do first, if I was in their position, is if I'd realized anime had the same scenario and everything was a one-on-one in relation, I'd find who created the story of that anime and talk to them, because they obviously know about it.
盗人の力が私にふさわしい力。ショックだったの。
Well,
私の本質ってそうなんだって。
I can never. Sometimes, if I'm not looking at the Japanese, I can't tell if they finished speaking or not. The power of the thief, it does sound bad or evil, but as I mentioned before, you would think that, but it can be used on the other side as well, like she had done with the guy on fire. It's not all bad.
真面目に生きてきたつもりだったのに、誰かのものを自分のものにしたいって、そんな欲求が眠っていたなんて。醜い部分を丸裸にされたみたいで、それがとても恥ずかしくて怖くて、なかなか立ち直れなくて。
I don't know what to tell you. In my opinion, you're...
そんなに難しく考える必要はないわ。力に善悪なんてないのだから。
I really like this voice. I've always liked the what it was type of voice actors.
Huh?
Okay, so she also doesn't know about that. I thought that perhaps they had an inkling of knowledge about each other, but I guess not. A mysterious voice shatters Kujo's concern and turns it into panic. As for me, well, I'm less surprised. I think it's because he heard that voice at the school. I mean, I saw it before it spoke. It was hard to miss, really. Something was moving, which definitely wasn't supposed to be moving. It was you all along, huh? You're the one who gave me that advice back in the fire, right? You set my neck out there. Kujo directed a blank stare my way. Of course, I wasn't talking to her. I was talking to that thing behind her. A little plushie, sitting where it shouldn't be.
ようやく私を受け入れる準備が整ってくれたわね。ぬいぐるみのふりをするの大変だったわ。
Yes, the plushie. Its lips curl into a smile and it levitates up into the air. Okay, now that is surprising, you jerk.
はじめまして、お二方。自己紹介させてもらうわ。
Now what is your role in all of this? It gently hovers over to us before landing on the table.
私の名はソフィーティア。アーティファクトを管理する組織、セフィロトの一員よ。
Kujo stares in awe at the plushie that just introduced itself as Sophitia. You know, that was an awfully quick introduction for such a complicated background, but I'm going to let it slide just this once, as we'll continue this next time. Okay, things are being answered, which I had hoped, which is great. A lot of questions being answered. I'm starting to get an inkling of the overarching story. And I'm looking forward to it. Because at first I was unsure, what is the purpose of the story? What are we going to be doing? What is our goal? What is the main character wanting to do? In the beginning we had none of that. But now we are introduced to superpowers. We are introduced to a connection to an overarching story element of the anime being connected to it. The plush has been connected. And now we also know that perhaps someone is influencing artifacts to perform not really malfunctions, but cause their ability to go haywire, which then gives us a potential enemy, a villain, that we will perhaps work towards defeating. That will then cause us to think who could be the villain. That is what makes me think, okay, each person we interact with could then allow us to think that perhaps they're the villain or they're a good person. We don't know. So far, Sophie Tia seems to be on the good side, but we don't know. They might be just neutral. Kujo's ability, really interesting. I've never seen, would it be telekinesis? I think the power to grab something from a distance. It's not obviously not the same, more like teleportation maybe, I don't know. But a nice twist to it, which is great to see. Quite a really powerful one. Huh. I wonder how that would work in a third person, if there was to be a third person. Like if, say, Sora was in the room, she would say, no wait, that is my brother's phone. And then the brother would say, no it's not, and it would be back and forth. I wonder how that would act, if that were to be the case. So far, pretty interesting. At first it was pretty slow, the start of this series. But slowly it started getting a little more interesting, and then bam. I think what really hit it hard for me was when we found out about the girl that was turned to stone. That scene was pretty scary itself. So, yeah. Can't wait to see what's going to happen next. But for now, please let me know what your thoughts of the part 6, if I recall. And I'll see you all next time. Enjoy.